All right, hello. So, if you're following along now, we started looking at Madonna. We started looking at some connections with 825, the 25th of August, and the 30th of August for Madonna. That ties in with Back to the Future stuff um, for potential croquet dates. Okay. I'm thinking like the 30th looks more promising. That's just just guesswork, of course. Um, But anyway, I wanted to show you now. I've done a video about 820 and this connection with Madonna in here in Ipet Go and Eli Manning, and there was a bunch of connections here. So I'm going to run back through this very quickly. So if you want the full sort of detailed stuff, if you go back to the Ipet Go 820 decode, Madonna Death Date decode, that will have a lot more information in here. But what I wanted to do is just tack this on to the end of that video, so to speak, because this also um, kind of still works. The number jump that was within here kind of still works for the 30th, and I'm going to show you why. So anyway, if you recall, Madonna did a Super Bowl halftime show, Super Bowl 46. Okay, so we looked at her halftime show, okay, because this is the Black Madonna here, okay, and this is a Super Bowl trophy. And so the MVP of that game was Eli Manning, okay, yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Eli Manning is here. This is Madonna, and we're talking about Super Bowl 46 here, and we're talking about the death and the resurrection of these two characters, basically. Anyway, what we were looking at, here's a couple. We're just going to go through some of these number jumps, but in the Super Bowl halftime show, what Madonna was doing in her halftime show is she was climbing on this throne that looks a lot like would be the Hoover Dam, okay, and she's got this sort of headdress on that looks a bit goatish, so she looks like a goat climbing on the Hoover Dam here. Now, they did a ritual at the Hoover Dam. A ritual. Where have I got it? I've got it in here somewhere. Uh-oh. Where has it gone? Here we go. So they did this thing at the Hoover Dam. I don't know if you can make that out. Okay, they shone this image of a goat. It's Cologne FC, yeah, Cologne. If you're going to say it the English way, but Cologne FC, a German football soccer team, okay, with the goat symbolism up on the Hoover Dam, okay, and this was, I want to say it was a world record, or at least at the time it was a world record for like the size of this projection that they did. Anyway, they did this thing, get this, on May the 8th. I can't remember if I put this in the other decode or not. They did it on May the 8th, 2015, and if you do a number jump out, okay, from this ritual, so in the Super Bowl we've got Madonna up on a chair that looks like the Hoover Dam, dressed up like a goat, climbing on the dam, okay, referencing this, okay, and if we look at a number jump from there, 5/8/2015, and I'm going through to 9/2, which is the white wedding date. You could, I guess, well, anyway, let's not worry about it. We're going through to 9/2, the white wedding date. Look at the numbers here. Now remember that Eli, come on, work. If we take these numbers and flip them, okay, the 3 becomes an E, 7 is an L, and we don't really want to worry about the other L. Okay, do you get what we've got there? Eli. Okay, so those numbers are showing up for this. The date that we're really looking at for something really big to kick off at the Hoover Dam is 9/1 into 9/2. Okay. Anyway, can't remember if I put that in the other video or not. Um, but anyway, they did this ritual, right, with this image, yeah, which is, I got a little bit better image here, okay. Now, what is interesting about that is there is a number right here, and I explain why that number is significant. But if you take this FC and convert it over to, this might not write on here very good, convert it over to, convert those letters to numbers, 1.63, okay, is what we're getting there. Okay, so let's just go and do that number jump now. Okay, so what this is here is, this is Eli Manning's birthday through to the 820 date that I was looking at for Madonna. You know, and why is 820 date so important? Well, the fact that it comes out at 163 straight up, super duper important. So it matches up with that logo, with the numbers on the logo, right? The other thing that was interesting about 820 was going from Eli Manning's birthday, okay, through to the big white wedding, which is Princess Princess Diana and Prince Charles's wedding day, was 7/29/81. Okay, 208 days. Okay, super duper interesting, right? Because, you know, I was looking at the 20th of August for Madonna, okay, and the idea of the wedding is the reset point, is when those two things are essentially reborn and come back together, okay, the physical and the metaphysical. Anyway, what else did I have in here? Oh, this was just something with Madonna's birthday, the 817. Again, her white wedding, her first white wedding was with Sean Penn, whose birthday is 817. Okay, so this is all the sort of a few of the back numbers. Anyway, so nothing happened on 820. Anyway, if we go ahead, we can actually fudge this to work now. Okay, so I'm going to show you why this still applies to the 30th. Okay, and you've got to do this. Actually, what is interesting is the 30th. Actually, where it's set up like this is Eli. I'm pretty sure his number is number 10, Eli Manning. Don't quote me on that though, because I keep getting stuff wrong. But I'm pretty sure his number was number 10 on it. Anyway, if we just click include end date, 16311. Now you can see what I'm thinking here, can't you? With the let's go back to this actual. Where is it? Here. So now can you see where the 11 is? Yeah, it's right here. Oh dear, this thing can't write right, and that's not very good with red. Okay, the 11 is the Twin Towers. Okay, that is right here under the 1.FC. So they've got the Twin Towers in there, which is the cathedral. Yeah, so now we have 16311. Super duper interesting. Now I'm going to tie into another guy now, because this, okay, Capra, the Capra, yeah, let me show you. Oh, come on. Yeah, Capra is the goat. Okay. Now somebody else, Madonna didn't die, but somebody else died on that particular day, and his name, Frank Caprio. Okay. Now a couple of people shouted this out to me in the comments. Thanks to them. Lindsay Marie and also Coin Researcher, and thank you for pointing this out to me. I think I saw Zach also posted something about it as well. He's the one. This is the dude that ended up dying on 820. The Caprio, yeah. This is derived from the goat. Okay. Okay. So Frank the goat here. This is extremely interesting. I didn't even know who, like people were saying Frank Caprio died, this judge guy. I didn't even know who it was until I saw his picture Wikipedia. I'm like, oh, I know who this guy is. I've seen him loads of times on YouTube. Because I do like to watch courtroom stuff. See what I just find it interesting. Anyway, I guess let's just go through and do this on the tail end of this. We can just get this dude out of the way. Obviously, then with a name like Frank, okay, and this is going to tie into like a whole bunch of other stuff. So actually, I don't know if I really want to do this right now, but let's just do a few of the little bits and pieces, and then we'll just see whether we can what we do. Okay, so he's the Chief Judge of Providence. Okay, Municipal Court. Now, Providence is, I believe, the state capital of Rhode Island, isn't it? I don't know. We'll click on it in just a second. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it is the capital. Interesting with the cap again of Rhode Island. Now, I think I had a number jump for him in here, and it was fairly interesting as well. So I'm going to tie. We're going to look at the number jump from his birthday. Okay, this is Frank's birthday through to Eli's birthday. And what was interesting was not only was the 4, 4, and 4, the triple 4 in that numerology interesting, but this was marginally interesting as well. Okay, because I'm going to explain something which I explained in the first version of the Ipet Goat decode there with the 820. This number here, right, the golden ratio, if you do 18 divided by 11, okay, it's going to equal the number we were just looking at, 1.63, but it's actually 6363. So you have this recurring 63, okay? So it's not technically the right number, it's just we were just looking at 163, just the first 3 digits of that, which is very interesting. Anyway, what is also interesting about this is also 16, apart from it's 111. This is also kind of interesting with the golden ratio, because the golden ratio is 1.618. Okay. So we got the first 3 digits in there of the golden ratio, but what is really interesting about that number, which is it's not technically the same number as what I'm going to show you here, but if you do this calculation around the other way, 11 divided by 18 now, okay, the answer to that, this equals 0.611111, yeah? So it's 0, it's one reoccurring, okay? I don't know if that's technically the right way of putting the reoccurring mark, I'll just put it right there or whatever, but anyway. So that was, I thought, I don't know, I just thought that was interesting, okay? That's not quite the right number, but there is a similarity there. This isn't really, technically the right number, but it kind of is, and we're all dealing with these, this is the center of the chart of Lorraine, these numbers. These are super duper important, tying back into the white wedding number, okay? I'm not going to re-explain everything, but anyway, I just thought that was interesting, okay? Anyway, provenance. So you know where I'm going with provenance is this thing here, okay? Divine providence, okay? And yes, it's the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence on the back of the dollar bill. Yeah, the same thing that is on Madonna's jacket, okay, in Desperately Seeking Susan. Now remember, we just did the other decode, and just on the fly there, while we were doing that decode, where the hell has it gone? Down here. While we were doing this, we were looking at a reference to Madonna in where the hell is it? It's right here somewhere. I think it's right here. We were looking at this record shop, okay, and the reference to Madonna in here with Edie here, and then Marty goes on to be reborn. But this shop right here happens to be in present day 1985. Where have I got it? In present day 1985, Back to the Future. It happens to be this particular shop right here. Nope. Yeah. The Third Eye shop. Okay, whatever that is there. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But anyway, there's your third eye. There is the Eye of Providence again there. Okay. So this is, again, it's just super duper interesting with the connections back with that last decode now. Okay. Just ties in just a little bit better again. So anyway, so he's the judge, and let me see. Was there anything else that I wanted to show about him? No. So anyway, this Rhode Island connection, right? So this being in Rhode Island reminded me of something which, if you've ever kept chickens before, you will have heard of this species of chicken. This breed of chicken, okay, which is a Rhode Island Red. In fact, it's an extremely popular breed. You know, I mean, it's a well-known breed, you know. Anyway, the reason why I bring this up, the red again, and maybe I don't know, maybe we'll have to do some of these connections later, but Madonna's surname, if you do not know, it's spelled Ciccone. Okay, it's pronounced Ciccone. Okay, like a chicken, like Ciccone. Okay, so Madonna's name is pronounced like chicken, Ciccone. All right, the Rhode Island Red. Okay, and you know, when you start thinking about just some of these little connections here with this dude, you know, with Frank here, you know, oh, what's his coin researcher said, hey, it reminds me of DiCaprio, yeah. And again, yeah, we just did earlier on in the year, we were just looking at all the Titanic connections with DiCaprio, and you know, some of the other, you know, we had some stuff that kind of tied in with Like a Virgin with DiCaprio, and you know, there was a bunch of stuff. But anyway, when I seen the name Frank, it reminded me particularly of a film, this particular film. Come on, Catch Me If You Can. Okay, where he is playing an imposter airline pilot. Okay, so this is fair. This has got some nice tie-ins. I don't know whether we ought to do it right now or not. Again, old Christopher Walken just pops up in this one, yeah. And then Martin Sheen as well. That's kind of interesting as well, because I was going to do a video with him in it actually, and Christopher Walken, yeah. The Dead Zone. I had some stuff for that as well. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyway, what am I thinking here? I never ever went and checked Tom Hanks. But this film, let me show you something in just a second. Let's just check out 7/9. Okay. Let's back to that. So there was an interesting. Now, can I find it? There was a couple of interesting number jumps with this dude. What was this one? No, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here as per usual. This one's the one I want to show you. Why did I want that one? What was that? I can't even remember now. Maybe I'm gonna have to go back through some of this stuff. Oh, I know what that was. Yeah, okay. yeah, there is another. We're going to come to a connection. This is actually John DeLorean's. Um, this is we're going all over the place now, but this is John DeLorean's death date, I believe, through to Madonna, right? And it was a 747, and I'd noticed that, and I then with the Caprio DiCaprio film here, Catch Me If You Can, with him being an airline pilot, and I believe that in the start of this, it's it is Pan Am, okay, and Pan Am was the first. I think Pan Am, reading the Wikipedia about the 747, was one, the first sort of company that took it on. Yeah, look here, Pan Am, January the 22nd, 97 is when it's introduced, the 747. Now, why the 747 was so interesting was because we were seeing all these 47 references with Madonna, okay? Tons of 47 references, and I'm not going to go back through them, but if you've been watching along, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this connection with the DeLorean. Why is the DeLorean so important? Again, because Madonna is the DeLorean, so to speak. Okay, metaphorically speaking, she is the DeLorean. Yeah, and this is what happens to the DeLorean at the end of Back to the Future. Yeah, it dies before Marty. Well, I'm not going to say it dies right there, but it does die. Technically speaking, the 131 train is more likely, the death of the Matrix, and this is, the sort of reset of the same. This is the same idea over again. Okay. Anyway, what was that? So this is already getting really convoluted. But anyway, the flying car, the DeLorean, the aircraft, the 747 stuff, and that film, Catch Me If You Can, with DiCaprio, Frank Caprio. Just like the connections are just kind of weird ones, And there was another. I'm sure there was another. Hang on, let me go through some of these dates, because I got all kinds of numbers in here right now that I actually want to show a few of these. That's old stuff. Let's see what I got here. Nothing, I don't think, because that's coming up. 825 stuff there. What was this one? I'm sure somewhere right here I got a number jump with. That's blank. Oh dear. Some of these are 10. No, that wasn't anything. It's this one right here I want to show you. And maybe the one before it. Hopefully it comes up alright and doesn't delete it. This is what I was doing before. I'd show a number jump and it would delete. And I think it's going to delete this one as well. No? Oh no, it didn't. That is, what the hell is this? I don't know what this one is. I can't remember off the top of my head. Somebody old's birthday. That wasn't the one I wanted either. Here it is. This is the one I want. Okay. We might get onto that if I can figure out what number jump that was. This is Frank's birthday through to 9-1. Okay. Now we had, we've got this connection with the Ipet goat thing, with Eli Manning. We've got a slight connection with his with this number here, and actually, I can't remember if this was an interesting. So with a 444, 1876. That's not mega interesting actually, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is so that we've got a connection with Eli Manning there, maybe with the Ipet goat thing and Madonna. This is Frank's birthday through to 9-1. Okay, look at the number jump here. 32423. Okay, now remember that 324 is Peyton Manning's birthday, and this This is again palindromic, very nice. Okay, so we've got this balanced number. We've got Peyton Manning's birthday now in here with this dude. So there's this, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's just, there is definitely a connection there. It definitely ties into all the stuff we've been looking at. You know, it wasn't Madonna, but I don't know, you know, it's just weird, isn't it? What else have I got here? I did have a couple of things. Let me show you this. So the Rhode Island Red, it did make me think of, oh, that's what that was. It did make me think of two Reds that are in Back to the Future. One is Red the Bum. Okay, where's Red the Bum gone? George Buckflower. Yeah. He's got the 1028, the 128 numbers again, the 821 that we were looking. Well, we weren't really looking at 821. We were looking at 820, but a lot of the stuff at 820 also worked with 821. Okay, and look, we got 618 for his death date. 618. Remember he was in what the hell's that called? Can't remember now. They Live or whatever it's called. Was it? Is that what it's called? They Live. I'll probably be down here. What we got? Movies. Yeah, there we go. They Live. All right. Anyway, oh dear. So this was a red. So right when Marty's reborn, this character pops up, and there is a theory out there that he is. Well, it's a theory. Some people have put forward that he is Mayor Red Thomas. Okay, that Mayor Red Thomas become a bum. Okay, but anyway, let me show you Mayor Red Thomas now. And where was he? Here he is. Okay, and that was that number jump I couldn't figure out. Yeah, 13th of November 1917. We'll look at it in just a second. Hal Gaussman? Don't know. Anyway, he is in Back to the Future, but really, it's only just a picture. So it's just a photograph of him that appears. Where is it? Back to the Future, in which a photograph of Gaussman was used as former Hill Valley Mayor Red Thomas. So he is Red Thomas. Anyway, I guess he's a set designer or somebody that works in on sets. Anyway, that was that number jump there. What was it? This thing's really having trouble now. No, this is a different number jump. This was, hang on a minute, before we get on to this guy, the Red Thomas's number jump. This is Frank's through to Peyton Manning. Why did I do that? I thought it might be interesting. Was it something interesting? 169th triangular. I don't know. And yeah, I don't think that was, well, that's marginally interesting. Anyway. What were we looking at? Come on, Dan, come on. I've got a couple other number jumps in here that we need to do. Where was it? Okay. This one here. This is it through to 8:30, through to that rebirth. So we see. Oh yeah, this was it. This was interesting. 4146. So we got Donald Trump numbers in here. That is super. Yeah, that's kind of interesting with Donald Trump numbers and the idea of the mayor. Yeah, and You know, when Marty gets back, he jumps over the top of Red when he gets back and runs down to try and save Doc. And then also when we saw that scene where Marty's the rebirth in here as well, just as he's coming back up, I'm pretty sure we have the Red, yeah, we have that coming by as well. And look, they put it right in front of the record store there, so this connection to the Red again, Rhode Island Red. Yeah, and obviously Road, the actual name itself, Road, connects back to the color red. What else have we got? I'm going to save some of this other stuff for the next video, okay, because it'll be a lot easier, and I've actually got another decode to do in here, so I think we've covered everything. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this one. There was a number jump up here. What was this? Let's have just a quick. What was this one? 6/10/2003. This was Gaussman's death date, if I'm saying that right. This is super interesting as well, isn't it? 8118 through to this 30th date. That's fairly interesting. 2282. So again, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's all interesting stuff. Okay. Right. I'm leaving it there for this one. Hope you enjoyed that, but that still works. It still works for the 30th. Yeah, it still works for the 30th. And again, you know, that number jump with what's his name coming out on this again, you know, that 3, you know, is 16111 16311, the other way around. Okay, anyway, still works for that, just about, with a bit of botchery with the number 11 in there with the twin towers there. Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on another one here in just a minute. Actually, I'm going to do this last one tonight before I forget about it. As you can imagine, it's an absolute nightmare trying to keep track of stuff. Alright, bye.